at page 277.
277 or 229? Where?
278, right?
Oh, 278. Right, got it. Oh. চালু করে দিয়েছো? Om Ashato Ma Sadgamaya Tamasho Ma Jyotir Kamaya Mrityor Ma Amritam Gamaya Abir Maedhi Rudro Yatte Dakshinam Mukham Te namang pahi nityam, te namang pahi nityam. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. And evermore shine in our hearts with your resplendent face. Om peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So, we are on the Nectar of Supreme Knowledge, Chapter 9, exposition of the meaning of the self, what the self means, that Vasishtha was instructing those ideas to Rama. And last we read verse number 14, where we read, just as the fire and the water take on each other's characteristics when they are mutually associated. I'm on page 277, bottom. Just as the fire and the water take on each other characteristics when they are mutually associated. In the same way, due to association with the self, capital, this inert body and so forth acquires the nature of the self, capital. And the self, capital, acquires the inner nature due to its association with the non-self nature. So this is called Anya Adhyasa, a technical term. Anya Adhyasa. One is juxtaposing its characteristic on the other, and other's characteristic goes into the other. So, where a red hot iron cannot be red, iron cannot be hot by its intrinsic nature, but because it comes in proximity with the heat, so we say that iron is hot. But we do not think that heat is something, its innate nature is heat. Iron's nature is not heat. Jara, this world, compare, this Jara, this world, this body is Jara, everything is matter. This matter cannot be conscious. But you see, I say, I'm conscious, I see, I hear, I talk, I eat, I sleep. So you are positing consciousness on this body, which is dead body, nothing, it does not do anything. But when it comes in contact with the consciousness has penetrated into my eyes, to the ears, as it were. My eyes are blinking, my ears are operating, my hand is moving. So all this activity is as like conscious entity, Body is conscious. No, body is not conscious. Body is jada. Jada means matter, non-self. And consciousness is the self. That self has been juxtaposed on that jada, matter. And matter seems to be active, as if matter is moving, matter is talking. Look at that. This body is a dead body. Now, coronavirus is everywhere going on. A person is now here and now is not there. So you see, body is the machine. Now we can understand easily. Now it is talking. Is it the body talking? It is the hand moving? Is the eyes blinking? It is the understanding going on by this jara, matter, the sound? No, it is the consciousness. Because of the consciousness, these inanimate things, jara, matter, has appeared to be conscious. And the conscious entity is unseen. We don't see that consciousness. What do you see? We see the table. We see that there's electricity, there is a switch, there's a on, light is on. We are seeing everything as it conscious, all the action of some consciousness. The leaves are becoming brighter, the trees are growing, the fire is killing that forest, tsunami is breaking the houses, as if they are all conscious, no? But the conscious is hidden, as it were, but the which is non-conscious appears to be conscious. So this is the miserable situation. That which is conscious appears to be unconscious, or jada, or matter, and that which is jada appeared to be conscious. Jada appearing conscious, becoming conscious, and consciousness as it become non-existent. It has no place, as it were. So this is the thing we read the last day. Now, 15th verse we start today. The means to eliminate this superimposition is given here. Now, they are described here. No? Now is what is our spiritual practice? How can I eliminate this superimposition? We are superimposing jada on consciousness. And consciousness as if gone into the background. As if there is no consciousness. In the forefront we see this body, this dog walking, cat moving, lion running away because of tsunami. Or Amphan, what is that? Amphan. AM? What is the name? Of the storm.
Typhoon.
See,
Cyclone.
it is such a big thing you don't know the name.
Hurricane.
Amphan. AMPHAN. Hurricane. Okay. So, see, everything is as if happening. Who is doing this? It is all jada. Other people will say, nature is doing this. It's all the action of nature. God is not coming in the front. It is totally hidden and non-existing to millions of people in the world. Few people, crazy people, they think God and think they want to see consciousness behind. So they are doing that research. But if you get a vote, 90% vote will go on the opposite side. Where is God? We are here. I am doing all these things. Where is consciousness? So consciousness has been hidden, and which is non-conscious is taking the role as if it is conscious. No? So this opposite thing is happening. How to take away this misunderstanding? How to take out this superimposition? You are imposing something on someone, something else. You are imposing snake on the rope. Let us come back to our traditional example. There is no snake, but you have imposed in fear, in darkness, that snake. And now you are fearful. This world is so horrible. Sometimes little joy. Most of this time, my God, it is so difficult to live in this world. This is bad, that is bad, that is bad. Why did you come here then? Who have called you? Get out. No, how can I go? This is all real. So live in the reality. How you can remove this misconception? It is not real. It is just you are superimposing some misconception. Misconception. It is all Brahman misconceived. All consciousness misunderstood. This is all Brahman, I am seeing as stable. This is all consciousness, I am seeing as my flesh, bone, this, that. How possible? How possible? You create every night your dream. Do you not create your dream world? Where is the flesh and bone of the people you see in your dream? Where comes their blood? Who creates those blood in their body? Who creates their eye and blinking like that? Who gets into fight in the dream? Who gives you good food in the dream? Where is water created by dream? Who creates all these things? Diverse things. Who creates? Your mind is creating. As if in the, suppose you are sleeping and you are seeing that dream. Is there anything in the, if I go, can I catch those people who are you are seeing in the dream? Or a tiger has come, can I go with a gun to kill him? There is nothing, it's a void like that you are sleeping. And you are seeing, oh, your blood, marrow, bone, human being, dog, cat, river, water, table, food, everything is your mind. So you are superimposing some conception on something. So this is the same way we are in the waking state, we are superimposing all these misconceptions on Brahman or really on our own divine self. So how to eliminate? This is the suggestion in 15th verse. So it says, Asatya jara chittangsha asatya jara chittangsha nayanat chid vapurjuna januhu nayanat chid vapurjanuhu महाजलगतो हि अग्निः महाजलगतो हि अग्निः इव रूपं समुच्यति इव रूपं समुच्यति. So when hot water is thrown into a water reservoir, the fire that was in the hot water gives up its heat. Suppose you imagine you took a very boiling water in a kettle and put that water in the reservoir. Go and put that in the reservoir. What will happen? The heat which was in the hot water goes where? Into the water. Huh? So when hot water is thrown into a water reservoir, the fire that was in the hot water, it gives up. You know, that water mixing with the big reservoir, it becomes cool. But where goes the water? Where's the heat? That heat, actually, that would be Q. Is there anybody? Mine, no. Mine. So, hot water gives up its heat. Likewise, when the unreal, inanimate mind stuff is contemplated as consciousness, as you think, my mind, as if my mind is working on its own, my physical energy, as if it is working by your own. But no, it is a reflection of that heat, that consciousness. So, when contemplated as consciousness, then the renouncing imaginary concept of birth, death, and the like, this self becomes free. The capital self will be free when you can just do this separation. That means this little self merges into the big self. Then little self loses its identity. One drop falling from the sky. So long you are holding on to the drop, you are some entity. But when you come and touch the ocean, the drop loses its identity. What happens to that? It dies? No. It goes back to its own original source. So when hot water is thrown into water reservoir, the fire that was in the hot water, that fire gives up its heat. It becomes cool. Similarly, when the real, unreal, this body is unreal, this mind is unreal, your buddhi is unreal, and intellect is unreal, this inanimate mind stuff is contemplated as consciousness. Then renouncing this imaginary concept of birth, death, etc., the conscious self becomes free. As if the consciousness was entangled. As if consciousness has been, sir, what is the consciousness in me? It is from head to toe is my consciousness. But that consciousness is not, I am not feeling as my consciousness. So when you can just put into the conscious self that it is the self, it is the self, they are not, they are powerless, they are empowered by the power of consciousness. If you can think continuously that, then this wrong conception of imposing the jara, the matter, imposing on matter that which is consciousness goes away. That means the misconception goes away. So what to do? Think of that you are conscious. This is not the my finger is moving not because of the my own conscious entity. It is a borrowed consciousness which has permeated through every part of my body. That's why this is moving. And you forget that consciousness. People forget that consciousness. They think I am moving, I am holding, I am talking. That means you are misidentifying your consciousness with these limited objects. When you can remove that identification from this, then you know that you are consciousness here, you are consciousness everywhere. And this entire universe is only conscious because of the self is conscious, conscious self.
How can you remove this identification?
By analysis, contemplation, thinking. Wrongly you are thinking, now think rightly. Why right? You may put that question. How this conception will go? Think rightly. Well, how it is right? Who says it is right? Yes, it is right. Why? Because sages have experienced. All the holy people have experienced and they got the freedom. So follow their footsteps as we are talking in the other class. They have experienced and they have challenged you. You also experience. Your present identity is a misconception. You are forgetting the consciousness. And you are projecting that I am conscious as physical body is conscious. No, body cannot function. Mind cannot function. Your ego cannot function without the support of that consciousness. Consciousness penetrates. Example, as we just also got the iron rod heated in the blazing fire. What happens? The heat which is in the fire penetrates in the every pore molecules of the bar. So every molecule remaining iron, but at the same time the heat has penetrated into it. Because the heat has penetrated and you touch that, your finger will be burned. You will not say the heat itself. You say, oh, the iron bar has burned me. That's our foolishness. We always say. We could have said it is the fire. No, we don't say. Oh, the pot. My finger is burnt. My hand touched a pot. Hurry, pot cannot burn your finger. You're making a wrong statement. Heat, which was from the burner oven, entered into the body in every molecule of the pot, made it hot. And your finger touched that. So your finger is burned not by the pot, but by the heat. Here, this body is all as appear consciousness, as if conscious. I put a pinch here. Why? Because consciousness has penetrated into here. So, I got hurt while bumping on the wall. I didn't get heat. It is the consciousness which is allowing me to feel like that. But we forget the consciousness and we give all the glory to jara, matter. So think that it is jara. I am the consciousness. Analyze that. Consciousness and the body is separate out. It cannot do like taking a knife, you cannot cut it here. It is so fine. The heat, when it enters into the pot, can you take a machine to cut it, heat part one and the iron part one? No, you cannot do that. Similarly here, consciousness and the physical body You cannot separate out only through intellect, through serious analytical process. You separate out. No, it cannot be. This body is made of flesh, bone, is growth because of the food, water, etc. Five element is giving birth to this. But it is possible. It will become stale when, if the consciousness is minus. Why the dead body is smells bad after that? Why it is not smelling bad now? Why it is doing that? Aye. As in your food, you cook your food and keep it outside. It will get stale. But when you are cooking fresh, how heat is transmitted into it, it's healthy food. So this body is so loving. People love, you look so good, They praise the body. Okay, take out the consciousness out of the body. What will happen? You cannot keep after 5 hours in your room. You'll have to take to mortuary.
But if you are Egyptian, then you can make a mummy and
Mummy karo, but that also, it is not, nothing is inside. You have taken out all the bombing, no? What you call? Embalming. After death, so the body does not, you want to keep like that, you have to take out all these nasty things and then stitch it and sew, make a sew of it. So this is the point. So these are borrowed. So we are forgetting that which gives us consciousness, and we are holding on to that which is itself has no entity. So this is we have to analyze. You cannot, as I said, no machine has been created to separate out this. You cannot, finest of the laser beam can separate the body and the consciousness. Okay, you see this way. No, you cannot do that. Only by knowledge. That's why you have to analyze day and night that this is jara, this is consciousness, and this has been superimposed. Anna anya adhasa. One's characteristic is imposed on the other, other's characteristic has come into it. Consciousness has become as if non-existing, and what is jara, matter, has become conscious. So this is the secret. Now, second one.
but
Next.
you're thinking about that this and that. Onno. We do it in one.
One no means so long you are in the duality, one no we are saying, one on the other. Because in our consciousness, there are two. One is the body, one is consciousness. Now we are reading this book. We have two. This physical body, flesh, bone, mind, that's also physical. A little finer among the creation, but they are also physical. So these are all in the physical world. And consciousness is we are searching for. So for us as a student, we'll have to start here. And when you analyze, and you find, then this dream misconception of body mind will be vanished. Then you say, kaggatam kenava nitam kutrolinam idam jagat. Shankaracharya said, after realization, kaggatam. Where did go this stupid world? Kaggatam, kenavanitam, who have taken away from my awareness now. I don't see anything but conscious ocean of consciousness. Kaggatam, kenavanitam, kutrolinam. Where did it evaporate? This whole solid universe. You, me, smiling, crying, weeping, hunger, thirst, fight, this, that, jealousy, ego, all. How did it vanish? Kenavanitam, kutralinam idam jagat. Odhurema mayadishtam. Just before my illumination, I was watching that as real. Nastikim? Nothing is there now. Mahat adbhutam. What a strange experience. So when it comes, then only one. They don't see anything but Brahman. But we are in the duality. So Thakur said, Ramakrishna said, duality you have to deal with another duality. One thorn has picked in your feet, you take another needle or thorn to pull it out. Then throw away both the thorns. So all this thorn and pain and all this in duality. So long you are in the duality, so we have to cultivate higher quality, and then give up both. Hmm? Now, extreme effort is necessary. It will not happen. It is not mamar badi radur khawa. It is not so easy to get a good meal going to uncle's house. You have to work hard. See, we read that we read so seriously in the bhakti book, no? Spiritual practice is necessary. Here we are reading Vedanta. There is no escape. Which road you go, it is easier, it is not easier. Don't get deluded by this type of statement. So if you have it, you have to deal with it. So extreme effort, extreme. They are not saying a little effort. No, extreme effort is necessary for self-realization. Well, now giving the example, what they are saying, 16th verse. Iksho gudho tile toilam. Iksho gudho tile toilam. Kashthe bannir drishadvayaha. Kashthe bannir drishadvayaha. Dhenavajyam vapushyaatma. Dhenavajyam vapushyaatma. Labhate chaiva jatnataha. Labhyate chaiva jatnataha. I am on page 279, verse number 16. So what does it mean? It's a molasses that exist in the sugar cane. No, we have the sugar cane. Out of that we smash it, and this juice comes out. And then you process it and you get sugar or molasses. Raw part is called molasses. Finer part is called sugar. No. So molasses that exist, but it exists in the sugar cane. No. The oil that is present in this sesame seed, sesame oil we use in cooking, sesame oil. What does it remain? In the seed, sesame seed. The fire that is latent in the wood is a tree is there, but tree is not tree. The latent, what is latent there? Heat. You can burn it. And when you burn it, gives you heat back. So heat comes from where? It was latent in the wood. Where was the molasses? It is latent in the sugar cane. And where was the oil? In the sesame seed, oil was hidden. You smash them, grind them, and get it. And the butter that subsists in the cow, when you milk it, you don't see the butter. But butter is there hidden. These are realistic examples. Butter, we don't see. When you drink water, do you see the butter? No. But if you churn, Ramakrishna said, if you churn it, then butter will come. And it will, you find it is separate from the water. It floats in the surface. When it is mixed together, it is one. Butter and the milk are one. But it is hidden there in a subtle way. If you can know how to churn it, then it comes out. So there is sugar in the sugar cane. If you know how to chew it, then you enjoy the sugar. You want the oil, sesame seed, grind it in such a way, you bring out this oil and you can use it for yourself. So similarly, with effort, and that subsist in the cow are obtained with effort. And as the iron that is present in the iron ore is extracted through a great effort of blasting and so forth, iron ore, its name is, what is the name? Chemical name. I forgot the name. Bauxite. When That ore is called bauxite. It is mixed with dirt and other things. You don't find any aluminium. So now you bring that and put into the heavy heat in the blast furnace. Then with that fire, the other things are driven out. You see the aluminium coming out. When you see the ore, which is underground, and they dig it and bring it out, you don't see anywhere any aluminium. But when you bring out that ore and put into the blast furnace, the high heat, then when that heat on the dross are wiped out, you see that there is aluminium comes. Huh? So similarly, blasting or so forth, similarly, this self, now it has happened the same way. This is like a sugar cane. You can squeeze it in a proper way by analyzing, not squeezing the physically. I am not the body, how not, all this analysis. That will happen, which present in this body, the soul, the self, the Atman, the consciousness, which is penetrated every pore of our my body. No? Sugar cane, sugar juice is in every bit of the size of the sugar cane, is it not? When you press it, from every bit, every corner, the juice comes out. Similarly, pressing with the right type of analysis, vichara, discrimination, discernment, that juice will come out. You will feel that you are Atman. You are Atman. Conviction will come day by day, day by day. Every day, that's why it is said, spiritual student should try to do this day in and day out. I am not the body, I am the Atman, I am the pure, I am the stainless. This body is all dirty, but I am the ever pure. No impurity can touch there. Body becomes old, I never become old. Body was born, I never born. Body grows every day with food and water, but Atman has no growth, no decay. So analyze, analyze, analyze. This is the blast furnace.
And the same way when our mind is hard, we think that I'm not the mind.
That's the way, yeah. Start from body, go to the mind, five kosas, pancha kosas. Eh? Annomayo, manomayo, pranomayo, vijnanomayo, anandamayo, atma me shuddhantam. Shuddha. Shuddha means in blast furnace, you put in heavy heat, all the dross will be evaporated. So analyze in a very deep contemplative analysis. Huh? How can I think that I am the body? Which part is me? How can I be that? I say I was in my childhood. I was in the school days. I used to be like that. I have a very, very friend. Where is that I? Where is that body? You are thinking of your young boy. You are a boy of 10 years, 12 years. Where is that? Who? How can you say you are the same guy? But you see, internally, you always feel you are the same guy. Internally, even in this maya or ignorance, everyone thinks I am the same guy. I used to go to school on my school days. It happened, that happened. I am my friend, and I had a fight with him or something. What? Who is that I? That child body, their mind, their emotions, all the habits is gone. But still, you say, I had a good experience. I had a bad. I am my friend. I have three friends in my. They're very intimate with me, and they don't keep any touch with me. Are the same I, and you are relating so many incidents there. And today's I is different. You have other friends. You have other likes and dislikes. No, but your I remaining the same. You are not changing a second, a split second. So all these things are changing, and you are saying you are the body. Which body you are talking? So this analysis so intensely. Similarly, analyze your mind, the baby mind. We have a baby mind. We have a adult mind. We have a child mind. We have not mature mind. We have old mind. So and it's not the same. So the mind, my mind, but which mind you are talking about? Your child mind, your adult mind, your this matured mind which is telling you to love God and move towards God? Which mind you are talking about? So you see, everywhere analyze, serious analysis. Then in extraction, you will find that it's only the consciousness, which is me. I cannot be other than that consciousness. As if consciousness is interpenetrated into the sugar cane. Sugar, as sugar is interpenetrated. So these three examples are beautiful examples. That as sugar cane, the molasses is there, in the oil that is present in the sesame seed, the fire that is latent uh, in the wood, the butter that subsists in the cow are obtained with effort, and the iron that is present in the iron ore, when you bring out iron ore, we are talking about aluminium. Here is the example iron ore. It is so dirty, so lump, such a lump, it's so hard. Huh? But when it put into blast fire, blast furnace, and smelt it, they call smelting. And when this separation comes, this is so rock like hard, no? But when it comes out, from that same thing comes out stainless steel. You cannot imagine how that was hidden into that ore. Huh? Aluminium. Aluminium ore looks so ugly when you extract from the underground. And then you put in the blast furnace, it is all dirty, toxic, these people say. Those are the places where the blast furnace works. Huh? And then after that, when it comes out, the aluminum becomes soft. You see, spirituality, same thing. When we come, we are raw, rough, with all the impurities, all these desires, angularities, ego, pride, false, nasty, all these negative uh, attitudes inside, raw, rock like that. So it's uncouth to look at, but put into the blast furnace. That's the sadhana. All our training goes on, smoothening, chiseling, all this goes on. And then comes out the aluminium. I have seen aluminium, 99.9% aluminium I have seen. Because we are used to work with the frame of Thakur's frame. It is all steel frame now. Previously, I was in a department of our Belur, where they bring that and make a frame of Sri Ramakrishna Holy Mother. And those are, devotees can purchase that. But it is so soft, with a small scratch, with a small needle, you can scratch it. It will make a scratch. So soft, and so soft. And rock-like thing, and so soft. So we are rock-like when we come raw. And when you blast furnace, then you become Swami Shivananda.
Someone commented that Sri Ramakrishna said Kachami Paka.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So I sometimes want to do the discrimination of I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not this body, I'm not the mind, and so on. But at the same time, a thought rises in the mind saying that I should do japa.
They do japa.
And I find myself in this.
There is no contradiction. You take help of this, help of that. All are helping. Japa is what? You are repeating the name of the Lord when you do japa, also thinking that the Lord is here with me. That person is the conscious person. That is the embodiment of consciousness, is it not? In Vedantic way, you are saying your consciousness. Satchidananda, Brahman, Atman. But when you are thinking he is Ramakrishna sitting in my heart, Ramakrishna is condensed consciousness, that's all. If that consciousness get condensed and take a human form, that is Ramakrishna. You are not thinking of a man Ramakrishna. Then you will get nothing. There are many people named Jesus. So you meditate on Christ, or you meditate any Jesus in this working in the street. You will keep his picture and meditate on him. No. You are meditating on that Jesus who is God Himself incarnated, who is purity incarnate. Thinking of Him, your heart will be pure. So you are thinking of consciousness. Matters little. If that inclination comes, do japa. Where your heart resonates, take advantage. We are not like orthodox bhaktas or orthodox gyanis. We take blend all these in our life. So that whatever suits that mood, take advantage of that and get merged into it. We'll reach the same goal.
So you're saying that depending on the mood of that specific time,
Yeah.
if I feel that analysis is more appropriate,
Yeah. We can do, whatever suits that will help you quickly to go, because mind is helping you to think in that way. If you think that is a non-dual thinking, that's okay. Only know non-dual and dual, all thinking about Ramakrishna is the non-dual, non-dual is the Ramakrishna. If you create some difficulty there, then all will be gandogol, trouble, misconception. But you have to think that it is the only one thing, either in the form or in the formless. That all the time we talk about that. Ramakrishna's evening prayer you chant every day. It is called Nirguna Gunamay. You are beyond the gunas. At the same time, you are adored through our praise to the gunas. You have embodied taking the three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas. Otherwise, how will you get the body?
Mhm.
But at least at the same time, you are the nirguna, infinite, absolute, timeless, spaceless. Every day we chant. Swami Vivekananda has composed that verse. So beautiful verse. Molasses that exist in the sugarcane, the oil that is present in the sesame seed. So many examples they are giving. You take any example, you can understand. The fire that is latent in the wood, the butter that subsists in the cow, are obtained with effort. And as the iron that is present in the iron ore is extracted through great effort, you have to sadhana. That's why you have to practice. Spiritual practice, spiritual practice, spiritual practice. No. That is you have to, extracting ore means how much? You have to dig the ground, make big machine, and then drill. How many stones will come, blockage will come, penetrate that, no? And go down and down and down. Sometimes people go down to see even there what is there. So do that. And what will happen then? Great effort of blasting and so forth. Similarly, self capital, which is present in this body, it is here, everywhere, interpenetrated. Would you think like that? Just take one example, this meditation. Vedanta meditation is very easy. All the examples given, you can think of all the examples. Think that you are a sugar cane. Think. And you think, sugar is every corner, but it is not visible. When it is grinding, when it goes to the roller coaster in between two wheels and get pressed, and then we cry, oh my God, why are you killing me? I am dead. I'm a good guy. Don't do. Why I don't do anything wrong? No, go. And everything squeezes out. What happens? Everywhere sugar was there. That is the spiritual practice. The trouble of doing spiritual practice is this. It is hard. To get up in the morning is so easy. How much I try. Even if you come, then you sit. Go on. Hey, what can you do? This happens. That's the struggle. But go through it and feel that you are saturated with that consciousness. In every pore there is sugar. Sesame seed, tiny thing. Grind them. Grinding, when the grinding goes to the one sesame seed, what? The sesame seed cries, why mama, I didn't do anything wrong. Why are you troubling me? Why are you grinding me? I'm a good guy. But grinding, then comes this oil comes. Hmm? Giving the example, the ore. Ore will say, hey, I was underground, very happy. You are digging me, bringing me, cutting me, chiseling me, and then you are putting into the 13,000 degree Fahrenheit or some high temperature. In that fire, you are burning me. Yeah? No, no, I am taking out your gold or original beauty, bringing out your original beauty. They're soft, beautiful. Anything you burn, it's called tapa. That's why tapasya, the word tapasya. It purifies. It purifies, takes away all the odd things of it. And like that's another example. That's a good example. The milk. eh? Uh, on the milk and the cow when you milk it. Even you can think in another way. The whole blood, this whole body, milk is where? Everywhere in the body of the cow. When it comes to the udder, that also milk, you don't see the butter. And then you make it, gra- make some process so that the butter comes out. No. So butter is every corner, every point. Satchidananda is every corner, everywhere. Similarly, the self which is present in this body, that self is realized only through careful analysis. What is the careful analysis? Important point. Listening, reflecting, and contemplating. Sravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. Sravana, as we are doing now, Sravana. And then you cover the book. Finish. Next week, I'll open it again. No, that is not, it should not end in there. What we have done, I should now manana. When I am just getting out, let it roll in my mind. Let this example roll in my mind. It's all penetrating everywhere it is. I am not seeing because it is mixed with some, what you call, uh, dross. And that is to be burnt out by tapasya, by austerity, by prayer, by meditation, by selfless work. You are not doing good to anyone. Every day when you do work, you are doing for your own good. Because I am cleaning myself. All these, which is unwanted things, covering my real nature, I am wiping. People say, I do so much work. Nobody tells me anything. Nobody, and more work is coming upon me. You are taking wrong step. It is God is giving you the scope to purify quickly. You can do it quickly, you can do delay, you can do the same thing 10 days and you can finish it in one day. So these are the attitudes which will purify. So therefore it is said that due to association, now notice there someone, the self is to be experienced, and for the purpose one needs to listen, reflect, and meditate on it as a spiritual practice. Drashtabho, Brihadaranya Upanishad. This verse is there in the Brihadaranya Upanishad. It says, Atma Bhavare Shrotabhyo. Shrotabhyo means this listening. Mantabhyo. Then you sit quietly and contemplate. Is it I am that consciousness? I am mixed with this body mind? Really? Is it so? I'm not the body then? Really I'm that consciousness? Analyze, and go into deep contemplation. These are the three things to be done by a Vedanta student. So we end on 16. Our time is almost done. Okay, I can do another. Is there anything? No relevant question. Of course, please put the relevant question. Otherwise, I'll to Kartik Banerjee. How can our adult mind be purged from money and sensual pleasure? Is there any particular age when mind begins to discriminate right from the wrong? This is the question. How can our adult mind be purged from sensual pleasures and money, etc.? It is the question, response to this question is that as long as we are human being, we have some body, we have a mind, and this mind is, we are carrying this mind from How many births we do not know. And the mind has experienced only what? All through the life is ran after the sense objects. So it has created a tendency, but it cannot look at other higher thing. But that's why when one moves towards that, if we analyze this way, that this body is not me, and this body, what I get through the senses is only limited, one drop of joy, followed by so much of anxieties, worries, suffering. And whereas I am that pure if I can think in this Vedantic practice or in Bhakti, O Lord, make me pure. So keep me at your feet. All these prayers and all selfless work we do, we forget that I am the body. And then we think of God more and more. These tendencies will be reduced and reduced and reduced. It is human. It is nothing wrong to have some desire for sense pleasure or desire for having money and wealth, because that is the way the world goes. Kathopanishad says God has created this universe and my mind have been created and the object has been created. So I naturally runs towards the external object. My ears have been created and it runs towards a sweet language, sweet voice. My body, skin has been created, soft touch. Mind runs for that. But now you have to say, hey mind, you have tested this. You ate enough, the tongue with the food and tongue. You have ate enough. Tell me how much joy you got. Are you satisfied? This is the Sravana. You analyze that yes, I got to eat so much food, very quality food, so many varieties of delicious food. But tell, are you happy? Don't you want any more? No, I want something more. Then go on, get tomorrow something more. Are you happy? No, I want more. Well, go day after tomorrow. Where will you end? And if you find there is no end of it and you are not happy anytime. And now teach your mind, if you think that you are thinking of God, if you are a dualistic person, or think of Vedantic idea that consciousness, go back and see how much joy you get. You are getting dependent joy. Money, wealth is our mind runs, that is nothing wrong, but it is dependent. We become dependent and that can stay. You can earn good money can go away. You can have much pleasure and then tomorrow that those things will be gone from your life. Then you are a beggar. So when we think this, there is something higher, and if we go towards that by singing bhajan, by praying, by doing good work, by thinking not of me, but of everyone, and higher Vedantic style, it is all consciousness. I am not the body, not the mind. So take all these means and then move on. So this tendency will be reduced. That's why external thing should be turned to internal. We have taken the photographs outside, whole life of seeing, touching, tasting, eating, sleeping. And now it turned, there is a great joy inside. Let us focus there. That is the Upanishad suggests. So we'll have to do all this to turn our attention to the consciousness or God. So that is the response. Okay? Anything more? So another 5 minutes are there, then I can go for another verse. Let me finish. 17th verse. 17th verse on page 280. It says, the all-pervading nature of the self is being illustrated with an example. How that consciousness you are talking, is it only here or is it everywhere? So how that all-pervaded consciousness, that's the point. We are like a beggar trying to get little joy, little peace, little happiness. Where as we can get infinite joy, but no one craves for that. Ramakrishna said, everyone cries, a jar full of tears, they cry for anything which is lost, material loss. But who is crying for God? That's the major thing. So that we have to understand that all pervaded nature, it is there. You will be richest person in the world. Who is richest? Who has the money or who has the inner treasure? He knows his own treasure, infinite joy. So if one can get to that joy, that person is the richest person in the world. Now this 17th verse is let us chant. स्फटिकात्मनि निरन्ध्रे स्फटिक आत्मनि निरन्ध्रे स्थितं खं वीक्षते यथा स्थितं खं वीक्षते यथा तथा सर्वपदार्थेषु तथा सर्वपदार्थेषु चिद्रूपः परमेश्वराः चिद्रूपः parameshwaraha. So as space which exists uninterrupted and clear as crystal becomes visible, no? Likewise, as the space, suppose the space, you think of the space in which the stars and galaxies all are just getting rotating or doing their things, no? That space. You are there, I am here, this interspace. Think of the, as far as you can think of the space. Suppose here to sun, what is the gap? That space. So that space which exists uninterrupted, no one can block it. No? The building has been created means we have not blocked the space. Space is so fine, it has penetrated through the wall. It is in and out, isn't it? You cannot block the space. It's so fine, finer of all the material things in the visible universe. So as space which exists everywhere, uninterrupted and clear, space is always clear. Pollution comes in the space, pollution goes away. Space does not get touched by it. So as crystal becomes visible, as a crystal and clear as crystal become visible. As you see this space everywhere, crystal clear, it is so direct experience of us. So space is everywhere that you see. Likewise, the supreme self, not this small self, small I, small John, Jacob, or Don, or Mary, or Martha, or these and that. Not that little, but that supreme self, that self which is the highest one, which is on the nature of consciousness, is experienced as interspersed in every object. It has penetrated in and it has penetrated this wall, this table, no? Space, now look at that. Space is up to this point to the roof. This thing, this thickness, space has penetrated into it. Go down, here is the empty space. Empty space or anything, space penetrates everywhere. And no one can stop that space, limit it, that you can be here, you cannot go there. And it is always crystal clear. Similarly, the Atman, that is the supreme self, is everywhere. That's why Aham Brahmasmi. Aham, I am Brahman itself. Brahman is the cosmic reality, and that is I as the small self. No, that self, capital S, is equal to Brahman. Why? It is the same. We are mentally imagining myself, but you are unnecessarily imagining there is no barrier. In the consciousness, there is no barrier. Ramakrishna gave the example. Suppose you put or we can give this example. Suppose you put 20 jars, earthen jars in the water, in the ocean or in a lake. So water is inside the jar. Water is outside the jar. What penetrates to the thin wall that is maybe earthen jar, but water has interpenetrated into every pore of it. So Whether the jar remains there, jar is your body, my body. That's the jar, huh? outer structure. Suppose the jar remains, or you break the jar. What happens to the one continuous water? It is here, outside. It was here, it is outside space. It is backside space, right side space, left side space. And whatever, it has penetrated inside this. So what will you do with the space? Space is always there. You are creating my space, my room space. How big is your room? My room is 10 feet by 10 feet square. You are saying 10 feet per second. In the space, where is the 10 foot by 10 feet? It has penetrated the wall, goes to the other's room. There is no division in that. So think that you are that consciousness. There is no limit. There is nothing to barrier. You are that. You are conscious entity that is experienced, interspersed every object. Okay? Okay. So we end here. Thank you all for being here. We close our reading today, and we'll be meeting again in this class next Tuesday at 7:30 as usual. And tomorrow will be gospel class, and at 7:30 by Swami Mayananda. Is there any other class?
Is Katu
Katha Upanishad class of Mayananda is there. What time?
10:30 a.m.
10:30 a.m. So as usual. So you're all welcome. Thank you all. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. Thank you. Anything? Quick.
In Bengali,
I said, Jal, quickly. If you want to say anything. None of Korini.
This one is already.
Okay. No, close it then. Did you close it?
Yeah, this is close.
Yes. পরে দেখবো এখন দেখো